Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
It's not only a brand new day, it's a brand new champion, Cazrin, coming in Highharvestide in 3 days and 2 hours at the time of the recording. I'm going to talk you through her Spotlight, her official CNE-Spotlight. I will link in the description down below. Cheers everyone, I'm you, the sleeping innkeeper. Lovely coffee. Good. We're going to do that during the current Timegate adventure. There's a free Timegate adventure at the moment. I chose Birdsong. Let's roll. While we talk about Cazrin. Let's speed things up a little bit. Good. Perfect. Why isn't Leia still in? Tommy? Ah. We don't need Shandy at the moment. Good. Okay. Back to Cazrin, who is a support and DPS champion that collects books as she adventures with the Fallbacks faithful companion Uggie. She's collecting books. I like that. She's a colleague, so to say. Her Sunny Disposition increases the damage of champions in her column and the columns in front of her. And she's always ready to protect herself and others, by the way, with Mage armor. She's a human wizard, a DPS and support champion, belongs to the Fallback affiliation. She's chaotic good, I like that. And she's eligible for Mert, Batra, Strahd and Alyndra until September the 3rd, 2028. And with the heavy lifter, I think she should be eligible for Zariel as well. That's unlockable as an event reward, an epic feat. Going to quickly change to gold find, just because of fun. I get Evelyn in instead of human. Yeah, that's looking better. Good. Her basic attack is pretty basic indeed. It's magic missile. Cazrin fires 2 magic missiles at random enemies, preferring different targets if possible. So if 2 are on screen, she fires them at those 2. If there's only one boss, just one enemy on the screen, she probably fires both of them at the same target. Passive ability Uggie, we know that from the Fallbacks affiliation. Uggie joins the party starting next to Cazrin unless Uggie is already in the formation next to another Fallbacks champion. Uggie increases the damage of all non-adjacent champions by 100%. Uggie is currently with Tess. Tess is collecting traps. Fine. Her formation abilities, the Library of Lore. Whenever a boss is defeated for the first time in an adventure, it drops a book that Cazrin collects. So it always drops. Every boss drops a book every time. Subsequent kills of the same boss have a 10% chance of dropping an additional book. So you could technically go to area 5, bam, boss, 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 boss. See? So she's collecting books like crazy. I like that. The maximum number of books that can be collected during a single adventure is the highest area divided by 5, rounded down. So area 1000, she can collect 200 books. Area 1500, she can collect 300 books. And that's where it gets interesting. Cazrin keeps track of both the number of books she has collected in the current adventure, as well as the size of her library. Part of my library. Which is the number of books she has collected across all adventures. So the books persist through resets. I love it. Cazrin's damage is increased by 10% for each book in her library, stacking additively. Uh-oh. So if every boss drops a book, and if you can collect books by the dozen at the area 5 boss, well, it stacks additively, not multiplicatively, but still. Interesting. Each time her library reaches a new order of magnitude, the base buff is multiplicatively increased by 100. Wow, okay. So at 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. Okay. So that buff is multiplicatively to Library of Lore. Sunny Disposition. Cazrin increases the damage of all champions in her column, including herself, and the columns in front of her by 100%. So it's probably best to put her, well, at least in the same column as your main DPS, or at the very back of the formation. Oh, she's sitting on seat 10, blocking Eliwick. Ha! Blocking Eliwick, Virtual, Rosie. Okay, that's good. That's fine. The Unctuous Uggie, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. Unctuous Uggie, probably. Uggie's buff is increased by 400% when Cazrin is in the formation and Uggie is with her. The Mage Armor. The first time anyone in the formation takes damage in each area, Cazrin casts Mage Armor on herself. Champions affected by Mage Armor decrease the damage they take by 25%. When I first read that didn't make sense, because she casts Mage Armor on herself and champions affected by Mage Armor decrease the damage they take by 25%. But In Search of Knowledge explains that. In Search of Knowledge, Cazrin's attacks and abilities gain additional effects based on the number of books that she has collected in the current adventure. 10 and more books, Cazrin fires an additional magic missile with a base attack, 3 of them. 40 and more books, increase the effect of Sunny Disposition by 5% for each book she has collected in the current adventure, stacking multiplicatively this time. So yes, you can scale her damage up when you just collect books at area 5, the area 5 boss, and then let her run. That's what I would do. 80 plus books, Cazrin fires an additional magic missile with a base attack, 4 now. 120 books, when triggered, Mage Armor is now, that's it, is now cast on all champions in the formation instead of just Cazrin. So once you have collected 120 books, that Mage Armor affects all champions, not just Cazrin herself. She's not a tank, so she probably won't be in the front position. She buffs champions in front of her, so you do not want her in the tanking position, I think. 160 books. Increase the effect of Unctuous Uggie by 1% for each book Cazrin has collected in the current adventure, stacking additively. So Uggie's buff is increased by 400% when Cazrin is in the formation, and that goes up after 160 books by 1% for each book Cazrin has collected in the current adventure, stacking additively. Not that much, but still okay. Okay. 200 books, 200 more books. Support champions affected by Mage Armor have a 40% chance to deal an additional 5 seconds of BUD damage with each normal attack hit. Good. Good, I like that. 240 and more books. Mage Armor's damage prevention is increased to 50% from 40 to 50. And 300 more books at area 1500. For each tanking champion affected by Mage Armor, the effect of Sunny Disposition is increased by 400%, stacking multiplicatively. The Sunny Disposition is a formation ability where she increases the damage of all champions in her column, including herself, and in the columns in front of her by 100%. The way I read it just have to be tanking champions that are affected by Mage Armor, not tanking champions in the tanking position in the front row, but each tanking champion counts. Specialization A, Self-Taught. Cazrin increases the damage bonus of Sunny Disposition. That was wrong. Wrong window. Cazrin increases the damage bonus of Sunny Disposition by 100% for each Fallbacks champion and or champions with a melee and or ranged base attack in the formation, stacking multiplicatively. So the more Fallbacks champions and or champions with melee or ranged base attack you have, the higher the damage of the Sunny Disposition, buffing her column and the columns in front of her increases by 100%, stacking multiplicatively. The Ancestor's Shadow. Cazrin increases the damage bonus of Sunny Disposition by 100% for each fallback champion and or now good champion in the formation, stacking multiplicatively. So the values are the same. It's just once a melee and ranged base attack champions, and with the Ancestors shadows it's fallbacks champions and or good champions in the formation. Last in the library, I know that. Whenever a boss drops a book, Cazrin collects 3 books now. The maximum number of books she can collect during this adventure is tripled, but in Search of Knowledge per book damage boost to Sunny Disposition is reduced from 5 to 1.65%, so it stays roughly the same, that damage boost from In Search of Knowledge. Specializations B, the signature smell. Ooh. When Uggie is with Cazrin, each damage increase that Uggie would normally apply to other members of the formation instead applies to Cazrin herself, stacking multiplicatively. So normally Uggie increases the damage of non-adjacent champions, but now it applies to Cazrin herself and it stacks multiplicatively. So if Cazrin is surrounded by many champions, that buff goes up even more. Smell and Mastery. When Uggie is with Cazrin, In Search of Knowledge, In Search of Knowledge's per book bonus for Sunny Disposition is increased by 100%. Nice. Her ultimate ability is the Fallback Fireball. Cazrin attacks all enemies with her version of a fireball. We'll see how that looks like. Equipment is pretty much straightforward. Slot 1 is the global DPS buff. Slot 2 buffs the library of lore buff. Slot 3 buffs the Sunny Disposition buff. Slot 4 is the Uggie Unctuous Uggie buff. Slot 5 buffs the Self-Taught and the Ancestor Shadow specializations from Specialization A. And slot 6 is, as usual, the ultimate cooldown. Let's have a look at her epic feats. The rapid analysis increases the effect of Cazrin's library of lore ability by 80%, and that's unlockable as an event reward. Forbidden Magic, oh I like that, increases the effect of Cazrin's Self-Taught and Ancestor's Shadow specialization choices by 80%. Wow. That's available in the Mythic Cazrin theme pack. Then the Heavy Lifter increases the strength core of Cazrin by 2. Let's have a look. She has a strength of 8, and that would be enough for Zariel. 8 plus 1 is a 10. Captain Obvious. And she has a charisma of 13. So that makes her exactly eligible for Zariel as well, for all 5 patrons. Splendid. Good. A colleague. A librarian in Idle Champions. Cheers to librarians. Highharvestide starts in 3 days and 2 hours at the time of the recording. It's It's reporting an error. My ever. Be that as it may, I'll see you soon in 3 days, 2 hours, when Cazrin goes live. I'll have a quick look. Just a second, please. Alyndra is the reworked champion. We'll see about the reworks of Alyndra. I never really use Alyndra, to be perfectly honest. Rarely. I'll do a talk through for Alyndra as well as soon as it's out. And in the meantime, I think you know how it is, everyone. Have fun, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Last meet render. Yay. Goodbye.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day.